What up, YouTube fan? We in here, Anthony Toglife, back with another video. Happy Friday. I originally was going to bring a BTS photo shoot this week, but that shoot got rescheduled. So I still wanted to upload a video that was portrait oriented. So last night I thought, and I was curious, so I went into Adobe Bridge and I wanted to see what was my most used lens for portrait work in 2021. Now, for those who've either been watching my videos or for those who know me, you would think that it was the Sigma Art 35 because I have been talking about that lens in every video. I'm talking about how I love the 35. I always use the 35. That's my go-to. And I really thought that was going to be the lens, but it was not. It was not the lens. And so the lens that it was surprising and not surprising at the same time. It was surprising because, again, I've been using the 35 Art so much lately that I thought there's no way that that could not be the lens. But I wasn't surprised because the lens that it was a lens that at the beginning of 2021, I made a point to start using that lens more because I had had it for so long and really wasn't using it that much. So the lens that I'm talking about is the 135 f2, the Canon EF 135 f2. I have had this lens for 7 years, and probably for the first 5.5 years of having this lens, I barely put it on my camera. When I originally bought this lens, it was when I had just got into using DSLR cameras, and a lot of people raved about how good this lens was for portrait work. And I will contest it, or I will attest, it definitely is an amazing lens. And for the price point, when I bought this, it was like 900 bucks. I don't know what it is now. It's probably cheaper because this is a very old lens. Like, this lens was created in the 90s or something like that. So it is a very old lens optically. But it was people were saying that it was a great portrait lens. So I picked it up. But what I realized at that time was that it was really long. 135 is a really long focal length. And when you're trying to do full body with a 135, you have to be very far back. So I really felt disconnected with my subjects. And at that time in the beginning of the journey with this lens, I didn't know what I know now. I wasn't as comfortable working with people. I wasn't as comfortable with my portraiture work. So this just was something that it was another element that really just had me feeling uneasy. So I didn't really reach for this. I was a big 85 guy back in the beginning, so I would always reach for that lens. And I really didn't use this lens much. And then as time went on, it just sat and it sat and it sat. So last year, I decided to make a point to start using this lens more because I have it and I love the colors and the way that this renders the out of focus area. You can get some magic with this 135. Like, for the price point, this is seriously one of the best portrait lenses that Canon has ever made. I will go on record as saying that it is a great lens. It obviously is not stabilized, but with the R5, that is a non-issue. It never really was an issue for me anyway, but having the R5, that helps. So I wanted to make a point to use this. So again, like I said, the beginning of last year, I really made a conscious effort to start reaching for this more and start using it more and try to be creative with this. So it was interesting because the percentage, what was the percentage? I believe it was 43% of all of the portrait images that I took in 2021 was used with this lens, which is crazy, more than half. What's even more surprising is that the second most used lens was not the 35. It was my 85 1.2. The 35 was third, which is crazy. I really thought I used that lens a lot more than I did, but it is what it is. So, when it comes to portrait lenses in general, a lot of people that are getting into photography, they'll always say, what's the perfect portrait lens, or what lens do you recommend for portraiture? And I have always been on the side of saying that there is no perfect lens for portraiture. There is no lens that you need to get. no lens is better than the other. It all comes down to your particular style of photography and what look you're going for. Some people always reach for an 85, some for a 50, some for a 35. There's people that use 24 or wider, you know, in the fashion world. Some people go for a 70 to 200, rack it out to 200, 135. Use what gives you the look that you want. That's kind of how I see it. I try not to confine myself into using only one lens, which sounds a bit hypocritical because I love the 35 and I've been using the 35 a lot. But, you know, I always look at the session itself or the model that I'm shooting, and it's like, what am I trying to achieve and what would be the best focal length to get the best images? I try not to just always go for the same lens every single time, because maybe a 35 isn't the right lens for the look that I'm trying to get. Maybe a 135 would be better. Maybe an 85 would be better. Maybe a 50. It really boils down to what is the end result? What goal am I trying to walk away with? And I try to find the lens that fits that the best. So this was my most used lens. In 2022, I really want to start using the 50mm focal length. I also have a Sigma 50 Art that I literally never use. I bought that shortly after I bought the 35 because I love the 35. I love the way that it rendered colors and the contrast and the pop that it had. And at the time, I only had the plastic Fantastic 50. So I felt like I needed another 50. Obviously, the price point is great on the Sigma glass versus the Canon glass. So I picked up that 50, but I never use that lens. And so I really wanted to make a point this year to start using that 50mm a little bit more often. So that's going to be my goal for 2022, is to try to use the 50mm more often. So we will see at the end of 2022 if the 50mm is my most used lens or if it's something else. So I would be curious and very interested to know, what was your most used lens in 2021? You can use Lightroom or Adobe Bridge or Capture One. All of these things should be able to get you this information through the metadata. Or if you just know because you've used the same lens, that's cool. Leave me a comment. Let me know what was your most used lens for portrait work in 2021. Let's get the discussion going. Let me know what it was and why you used it, and if you have any plans in 2022 to use a different lens or focal length. So there you have it. I can't even say hopefully this video was helpful because this was just me talking to you. So I'll just say, if you want to support me and my channel, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, please. It really is appreciated. It does help. And if you like this video and you want to see more videos like it, or if you like some of the other videos I've been posting, go ahead and subscribe. Do like Anita Ward said, ring that bell. I know for people who watch my videos on a consistent basis, you probably get tired of hearing that. But as a YouTuber, you know that when we make videos, we have to assume that there will be people that are watching this video and they're being introduced to us for the first time. So we have to just say it in every video. So I appreciate the regulars who hear me say the same thing at every video and they still come back and watch my video. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. Until the next one, take care.